Hello everyone, this is General Hand Grenade. Welcome to my war room in Prince George, British Columbia. I thought I was finished this series, but someone pointed out the other day that I didn't quite calculate the points the way I was supposed to, and when reading their post on my video, oh geez, I just one of those face palm moments, when you slap your head. Oh yeah, I was so intent in that last video there in working towards the victory conditions that I'd forgotten about the other victory conditions, like I'm talking about the points that you go for, so that I could give the viewer a sense of, the kind of things that you need to think about beforehand, like in the turns leading up, and how you achieve those victory points. And I'm talking about things like, taking groups of things, or Japan, taking that island that they need, or the Americans preventing them from getting that island, like the Philippines or something. But anyway, there's a couple of other victory conditions that add to or subtract from those points. And so I'm just going to go over those. This will be a really short video, and we're going to add and subtract those points, and that's going to change who won this game. Because if you remember from my last video, I didn't think that the Russians should win this game. It's not that they're doing terribly, but it's for them to have won World War II, and the Russians are still, or the Germans are still occupying the Eastern Front, and the Japanese are occupying the other side. It just didn't seem right to me. Anyway, so let's just look at this, okay? So we have it tells you how to do that. The most victory objectives, like we did. So you calculate that by adding the objective cities and the optional national objectives. So those national objectives were what we added already. So with the objective cities, you calculate the objectives by totaling the number of objective cities a player controls. And they list them here. They're basically the capitals, the capital cities of all the nations that are in this game. And I don't know about that one. To me, that's not a very good one to use. And the reason is because, you look at the Allies, they have 6 of them, right? And the Russians only have 1. There's no way that the Russians are going to take that many victory cities from them. The most they could get, I think, if they had an unbelievable game, is they could go get Nanking and Berlin, and that's about it, really. The most they could end up with is 3, I think. The Axis could get a couple more than that, but anyway, so that one, and then there's subtracting points. So a nation loses 1 victory objective for each land zone worth at least 1 IPP in its home nation that is enemy controlled at the end of the game. The nation that has surrendered cannot achieve any victory conditions. So in this game we played here, nobody had surrendered, so that we don't have to worry about that. But one of the things that is key here is that it's enemy occupied. Okay, so let's just take a look at this now. For instance, and if I was playing this right, then I probably would have played it a little bit differently, right? There's points that were left on the table, and points, basically points on all sides that were left on the table. Let me just adjust my camera a bit here. There we go. So, try to get rid of some of that glare. So, when we finished there, the Russians had all of these guys here, right? Lots of tanks. I think actually on the last turn, they non-combat moved some of them up there. But the Russians could have taken these guys out, and they could have taken these guys out with what they had there, probably. Maybe. At least they would have tried anyway. I mean, why not, right? And so that would have taken off that would have given them 2 points, basically, because this is their home country here, and Japan is occupying them, right? But at the same time, there's these ones back here that Japan has, but they're not occupying, right? There's nobody in there. So they're occupying 3 spaces here, but these ones, they just, so, it's a little bit of this and a little bit of that, right? Japan probably would have put more stuff, put a guy on each of those, and maybe beef this up a little more, and maybe even spread out. Well, there's nothing here that's worth any points, but they could have kept going, right? Like if they were thinking about it, and the next time I play, I'm certainly going to remember this, where there's that point too. So anyway, we'll just count it the way it is, right? And accept the fact that I didn't play it the way I should have at the end. So that's -3 right there for the Russians. And then you look over here on the Eastern Front, and so this one here is worth at least a point. This one here is not worth anything, so this one doesn't count against them. This one here is worth at least a point, and so is this one. There's a guy right here, so that's three more territories here. And then there's a couple here, like this one, and this one, that like this one doesn't have anybody on it. This one's not worth anything, and again, this one doesn't have anybody on it. Maybe a better way to do the cities thing would be to count all of the cities in the game. Like here's Kiev and here's Smolensk, you know, but all they want you to count is the capital cities. But I don't know, like I think that you'd have to give that a lot more thought to what cities are on the board and everything, and what's achievable by everybody, right? Just to make it fair for all players in the game. So anyway, we're looking at Russia losing 1, 2, sorry, not this one, 1, 2, 3, and then 3 on the other side, so that's 6 points. But they get this one here. Moscow is one of the victory cities, so that's 5. So Russia here had 13, right? So they lose 5, so that should be 8 now, right? 8 points. Now, as far as the other nations go, Russia was the only one that had that happened to have people in their home territory. Like here, this is the home territory of Japan. There's only 3 spots in there, right? So obviously nobody's got them. And the same with Germany, and the same with Italy. Now, there's only one capital in this game that changed hands, and that's this one here. Japan controls that capital. The other thing is, so anyway, well, let's just put those points on the board. So that should be +4 for the Axis, right? So we look over here. This is the Axis total here is 6, so +4 is 10. And these guys got 8. Okay, so then there's the Allies. Now, I was a little unclear about Spain and China, if you would count the points against them. See, like Japan occupies in the Chinese home country there. But when you're calculating this, you would only calculate for, like here, this is the KMT symbol right here, right? Like this is a warlord territory over here. But when you look at it though, I don't count these guys here. When you look at it, there's only one. Oh, that's a warlord territory there. So that's not even it. So really the Allies wouldn't have lost anything for this one here, because there's nobody occupying them. Even though Japan has their pies on them, there's nobody actually occupying them, right? Yeah, and that one's got a Japanese pie on it. And then Spain over here. Spain, like there's some territories that are worth $1 as well. Like this one here, I don't know that you'd subtract that from the Axis, right? Now I had texted Doug and asked him if like what happens in that case, and he's not the rules guy. Will is, so he said ask Will. So I texted Will and asked him, and Will never got back to me. So like I've already waited a week to put this video out. I wanted to like it would have been better if I could have got it out the same day, or a day later. But I didn't want to wait too long. But anyway, if you know, then let me know in the comment section of this video. Do you calculate the losses in China and Spain or not? I'm going to say no, for this. The Allies have 5 victory cities, and they had 9 points to begin with, right? So 5 victory cities, that makes them with 14 points. So the new totals would be 14 for the Allies, 10 for the Axis, and 8 for the Russians. That seems a little bit better to me. Like the Russians are just behind the Axis, and you know, like the Axis aren't doing bad or anything. Japan is not threatened whatsoever. They have every single territory in China. They're moving into Russia. If it wasn't for this here, then this little debacle in here, like if the Russians had put more stock into holding the border here, then they would have defeated these guys. Not only that, but that would have given them 3 more points, right? Because I don't know that they could have gotten too many more over here. With these 3 here, like they did attack everything they could. It could have been that maybe they could have brought somebody in and took this guy out, or maybe even just bring Air Force in and take the guys out without taking the territory back, right? So that they didn't get the point for it. If I'm reading it correctly, where it says that that is enemy occupied at the end of the game, you know, it doesn't say. It doesn't say captured, it says enemy occupied. So that's what I'm going with. So anyway, that's the way it is now. That's the way it is now. If I haven't screwed it up again, and if I have, then sorry. But yeah, like it could be that I'm wrong about that. It could be that you count all of these territories, right? But that's just not what the book says, and it's pretty clear about that. And the same with these ones as well. So I don't think that that's the case. And certainly I don't think that the Axis should have won this game. That's what would happen if you counted all of those things, and the Axis would have kicked ass in this game. And that just that just flies in the face of what it looks like in the game here. You know, like, but I would have done some things differently, obviously. Like I didn't bother trying to take this space out. That one would have been -1 for the Axis, and you know, I got lots of stuff here. I could have tried taking it out, but I instead decided to take this point off. I didn't think this one was worth a point. You know, I've read the rules before, and I knew about that rule. It's just I've been playing the game for what, 5-6 weeks. And by the end, I just wanted to get it over with, and I wanted to do a good job of it. But I just kind of rushed the very end of it, right? And so this is what happens when you rush the end of a game, is you might forget about some things like that. So I hope that clears things up for you, and I thank the person who pointed this out to me in the comment section of the last video. So I will upload this video and I will put it in with the playlist. So if somebody's just running through that playlist, then they will see this video like right after they've seen the last one, and it won't be such a big deal. The big deal will be the people that watched it a week ago and thought that the other guys won the game, and now find out that they didn't. So that's it for me. Take care, everyone. General Hand Grenade out.